Hey everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, let me just let you know right now, get familiar with the sweatshirt, honey. I am recording today, and guess who's not going to do a whole bunch of, wardrobe changes? Your girl don't got it like that. But in today's video, we are going to review, well, not even review, do the first impressions of the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Powder Foundation. Listen, I know I am tardy for the party, but we're going to go ahead and see what this foundation does on my skin type, my skin texture, my hyperpigmentation, and that's, my main thing is to see whether or not it covers my hyperpigmentation. I never, ever, 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 ever wear a foundation that's just a powder. And we're going to see how well this one works on my particular skin type and with my skin issues. So we'll see. So if you're interested in seeing how this foundation is going to work on my hyperpigmented skin, by all means, stay tuned. But before you get all cozy, there is a subscribe button that's located right over here. And before you even click that subscribe button, I want to let you know what you're subscribing to. One, I do reviews, I do makeup looks, and I also do commentary. So if that seems like a type of channel you're willing to subscribe to, again, the button is right here. Alongside of its notification bell, you have to click both of them. This is how it works. They're a pair. They can't exist without the other. So you go ahead and click it. There. They're right there. Click it. Welcome to my channel. There is a subscribe button that's located right here. Alongside of it is a notification bell. Stay tuned. So I know I am late to the party when it comes down to this Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Powder Foundation. But I wanted to try it out for myself, review it for myself, because I would like to say the videos that I did see about this foundation, most of the people that I saw didn't have problematic skin, didn't have any hyperpigmentation. I was like, well, wait a minute. Where are the people who have problematic skin, and whether or not we can wear it the same way? Now, just because I have hyperpigmentation doesn't mean that I want, a full coverage all the time and not have my skin look like skin when I'm wearing makeup. You see what I'm saying? So I just want to go ahead and give it a go to see if it works. And I also want to kind of test it out to see whether or not it does work on foundation. I didn't see that either. I have the Fenty Pro Filter Soft Matte Foundations. I have two shades. Now, I have to be honest, I am not an uber fan of the liquid foundation, but I figured because I have it and because now I have the powder, I also rock the setting powder, to why not, see if I could do maybe, one, compare the liquid foundation to the powder foundation and to see whether or not the powder foundation can work well with the liquid foundation. So I don't know how I'm gonna freak this this video, but I'm gonna try to finagle it somehow. So just bear with me. Just stay. Just stay so you can see what happens. I got the shade 440 only because, one, and I really wasn't even sure that 440 was going to be a shade for me. Do I have it in the liquid? I do. This is 430. I have the 440. So, okay. So I wasn't sure whether or not this was going to be the shade for me because, unlike everybody else, I have a difference in opinion when it comes down to the Fenty foundation. I didn't find it, and I still don't find it very easy to find a true match to my complexion. I do understand that these foundations do oxidize and kind of changes the tone of the foundation. But again, I'm not a fan, so it's like, I tried it to jump on the bandwagon, which I did, and I wasn't rocking with everybody else. I wasn't like, oh my God, Rihanna. No. So, but I went to Sephora. When I went to Sephora, the lady was like, no, because I was going to do a deeper shade because I automatically think I'm super dark, only because of my hyperpigmentation And from my neck, you know, from my head down to my chest area, it's just two different complexions. So I automatically just look at my darker areas of my face and just kind of rock with that. Even though that sometimes when I do that, it just looks like I'm wearing a helmet, like it looks too deep. But nonetheless, it's just how my eyes kind of gravitate to certain areas of my face, and I tend to go towards darker shades. But nonetheless, so when I went to Sephora, the associate there said, no, I think a 440 is good for you, and that's what I had. And then when I also went onto the Sephora website to do a shade match, that's the shade they chose for me too. So I'm like, all right, well, let's do it. She's cute. Like a cream off-white packaging. The shade is on the back. And this foundation is $36. Jeez. And she looks like this. Right? She looks light. No, I don't know. In person, does she look so light? Yeah, she does. Look a little red. But also, too, the foundations look red. Like, I still don't understand how, again, I mean, I was part of the bandwagon too. Oh, she came out with 40 Shades and it's just, oh my God, Rihanna. I get it, right? And I do like Rihanna as an artist. I even like what she has brought to the beauty community. I think that she's dope, but not really a fan of these foundations. So we'll see how this one works. Okay, so you saw the shade and you have a mirror here. You have a mirror here. And you have this sponge. Now, I don't know if you're able to use a beauty blender wet with this. Probably not. So I'm not going to even mess up this foundation doing that. But I know for certain I'm not going to be using this. So, I don't know how I'm going to apply it on my face. But what I'm going to do, I am going to compare it to the actual liquid foundation. So let's talk about the claims first before, we get on with this. Okay, so I am on the Sephora app, and the details state that this foundation is a light as air powder foundation that gives you a light to full coverage with a soft matte finish. The coverage is medium. So why do you say light to full coverage? So can I potentially make it to a full coverage, or is it overall a medium coverage? Let's be clear. Because a person like me depends on what it is that you're trying to sell me. Like if you're telling me that's going to be full coverage, or I can build it up to be full coverage, that's important for me. The finish is matte. The formulation is a pressed powder, as we know, free of parabens and it's also vegan, gluten-free, cruelty-free. I guess I should just do a Google and how to pronounce that, but shade finding tips. The powder delivers a non-cakey, blurred finish with no flashback. The buildable light to full coverage formula loves to be layered without settling into fine lines or clogging the look of pores. It's also sweat, humidity, and crease resistant. Plus, it has a chic portable compact. Now, yes, the packaging is dope. Very, very nice. There's no qualms about what it looks like. I like their packaging, but I'm not wearing the packaging. Let's compare it to the foundation to see if it's true to match. Because when I went to Sephora to get this foundation, the associate also told me, she was like, people have been coming in saying that the powders are darker than the foundation, yada yada. So we'll see. Okay, so I'm just going to take this brush and just dip it into the powder and place it right here. And I'm gonna wipe it off and do my face for real, for real. I just want to see what it looks like in comparison to the liquid foundation. Well, and the color match isn't bad, right? Can you see? I can't even see. I don't know why I do this all the time, as if I can see the side of my face that I'm swatching. Does it look ashy? Okay, Rihanna. I mean, that was just with a few like dips into the compact, and you can see this is where I'm really dark, and it did. Like I don't even know. I'm not gonna even look at my monitor because I'm not gonna be able to see it, and I'm trying to see it in my viewfinder, but my eyes are just not set up to where I can see well in this little square. But Okay, not half bad. So this is 440 in the powder, and I'm gonna take 440 in the liquid foundation. It's so red, Jayla. Oh, it does seem deeper, but I think I like the shade of the powder better than the actual foundation. All right. Oh well, the ultimate. Well, yeah, it is a little deeper. I wouldn't say they're like the same. The powder is definitely deeper, and I like it. Okay, and on this side, I'm gonna see what they look like together. I don't know. I don't even think I use this foundation like talk about. But the shade, once it kind of dries down, it doesn't look half bad. And it's not the most full coverage foundation, as you can see. But you can still see a lot of the hyperpigmentation over here, and I done slapped foundation. I'm not reviewing this foundation, Lord. I'm not. So we're gonna dip back into the powder. Oh, oh, I like that finish with both of them together. Are we gonna do this? I don't know how I want to rock it, but I kind of like. Oh no, I like this powder. So what I'm gonna do, just for again demonstration purposes, to see, for whatever reason, I feel like it's just not going to be my kind of thing. But we're gonna just do it for the sake of doing it. So what I'm going to do, because I do actually like the liquid foundation and the powder together, because I'm a full coverage kind of individual, and because of my imperfections, I love coverage. But again, I want to be able to see that during the summertime, can I rock a foundation like this and it works. So I'm going to just use the powder in this video as much as I want to do the combination. I'm going to see whether or not I get a decent amount of coverage with this foundation. I'm going to use a thicker brush too. Lord, let me get noise. I'm going to use my Juvia's Place, would you even consider this a kabuki? But foundation brush is a nice dense brush to apply it to see if I get a decent amount of coverage and it feels light to me. So where during the summertime, when I want to wear a foundation, I don't feel like I got a whole bunch of stuff on. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I'm going to wipe this off, do my brows, do my eye look, and then come back to apply this foundation. So, what do you think so far? If you have gotten this far in the video, let me know what you think. You like it with the liquid foundation and the powder, or you like the powder by itself? Let me know. Everybody knows what the foundation looks like at this point, but the powder, let me know. It looks so smooth, doesn't it? Interesting. Okay, I'll be right back. So, because we're using a powdered foundation, we can't put our concealer on after we apply our powder, so we're gonna do this backwards. This this is gonna give me angina. So the concealer I'm going to use is my CoverGirl Deep Golden concealer, and I have to sculpt the top of my brow because I didn't do that purposely, not really knowing what I'm gonna do here, because I will normally sculpt the top part of my brow with my foundation, since I can't do that with powder. And have you guys tried this foundation? And if so, what are your views on it? What do you think? Do you like it? Do you recommend it? And I'm gonna take my sponge and just kind of dab that around. It's not so much of a highlighting concealer, as you can see. And I just might add a lighter concealer, just a little bit in the inner corner. And I even thought about like doing a contour shade, but I'm like a cream contour. But I don't normally do that, and I just feel like I'd be cheating just for coverage. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna do this the way I would normally do my foundation. And I can't remember, like even when I watched the Rihanna video, I saw her tutorial and I'm like, girl, like Her skin is flawless. If it's not flawless, then she had something on prior to. But it's like, okay, one, I can't see how much coverage this thing has, right? And two, you didn't put no concealer, no nothing. You around here looking one dimensional? Okay, I'm gonna take another shade, something a tad bit lighter. And it's another CoverGirl concealer, and this is in Caramel. So I don't know, like, are you supposed to do like your under eye powder? No, right? Or should you? Should I put on my setting powder first? I don't even think I paid attention to other people's review on it like that. Clearly, because I don't know what to do first. Okay, I'm gonna do it anyway because I don't really know if I should or I shouldn't. So a little bit over here on my forehead. I think I had mentioned in another video. These are so good, but they dry down so quickly. Okay, so for our setting powder, we're going to use the Fenty Pro Filt'R setting powder and honey. Now this I'll recommend. She's not my favorite, but she's not bad either. And I will say too, for the Fenty concealers, I actually love the concealers, but because I'm able to find a cheaper alternative, that's what I am rocking with currently. Okay, so now that we have setting powder under our eyes, I'm kind of scared. Okay, so now let's go in with the foundation. And I'm going to take this dense foundation brush. Oh, earlier I was like, oh, I don't even know what kind of brush it is. It is a round buffer brush by Juvia's Place. And I'm going to, oh, this thing doesn't stay? Okay, that's annoying. Like, what? Isn't click? But why? There's a little groove to this foundation, right? Like, there's a little hole. Like, why do I, oh, well, that's the mirror, right? Oh, it's a magnifying. That's what it is. So the two mirrors. So you have the regular mirror, and then you have the magnified mirror underneath here. Okay, great. But again, that's cool and all, but why won't you stay? I got foundation on the brush, and we're tapping. Live and direct on your stereo set, the rouse the track to the point that the stereo wet. They create lyrics and sedation, the offer the listen to meditation, vocabulary participation. Alright, okay, I don't know why I always start there. I'm gonna start here because I'm able to see my skin in the viewfinder, well, on my monitor. So you see I have a lot of hyperpigmentation. There's some still here you're able to see. They push rappers like water in my squeegees and Grand Theft Mics with the art of Vice Cities. Vintage and raw rep the movement, and we move with thoughts that be parallel to the groove and willing to soothe minds with rhymes using our chemistry. Make the creed feel the force. Let me just try her sponge, just for the sake of trying it. But okay, I don't know if I like how that. Okay. I think it's more of a coverage, but it looks like I have, like, I don't know. If I were to continue to use this foundation by itself, is it just me? Like, up in here, I feel like I look like I blew my nose. Anyway. And then I will use quite a bit of product. Why? Because I have hyperpigmentation. And even though, like I initially said that I don't want, sometimes I don't want a bunch of coverage. I may want something slight or whatever where my scars are okay to peek through. I mean, this is looking like a little red, no? Like it's looking like I wouldn't mind this being a bronzer shade versus the bronzer that I have from them. Makes sense. So for people like me who have more to cover, I'm going to say this off the rip. One, I think the foundation has a beautiful finish. I'm not going to sit here and lie about that. The finish looks very smooth. It looks very polished. I like the finish. Now, if you want something light, something real quick to kind of just smoothen out the texture of your skin, something to kind of like buffer out your scars, I feel like this this powder foundation will probably do it. But if you're looking for something to cover up what you don't want people to see, they gonna see it. I'm like, I have my smile lines here. I just feel like they look defined. I am getting older, but you know, I'm not saying that they're like not there, but I just feel like you can see them. There's no coverage for the deep setting there. And with that little sponge does cover up some stuff. Yeah, it's a pretty finish. Yeah, I probably won't use this by itself. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Like, I'm in the light. Do you see? Like, the coverage isn't horrible. It's just it's definitely different for me to kind of be like, you know, this is my go-to. But I can definitely see it being one of those foundations that I'll grab. But anyway, let me just finish up this face of mine and then I'll be back with my final thoughts. So let's talk about this foundation. I'm going to say this. I think that the ultimate finish is okay, but if you can see, because I am older, in spite of, in my mind, I don't feel like I have super aging skin. I am aging. And I have these deep set smile lines. And it doesn't give me that blurring effect that I need, because usually if I use like my NARS foundation, I don't see this so much. And it's like it's settling into my into my fine lines, and I don't really care for that per se. But I want to say that and mind you, I didn't put any liquid foundation on. I feel like for the hyperpigmentation that I do have, I feel like it has blurred it out some. I wouldn't say that it is a full coverage foundation. I feel like it's medium at most, at least for a person who has problematic skin like myself. I think it's medium at most. Could I wear it by itself? Yes. The only thing I don't think that I would do, that if I were to wear this foundation by itself, I would not apply like concealer and do the other stuff. I would just kind of like dust it over my bare face if I want to do like mascara or whatever, something very simple. But like in her tutorial, like Rihanna's tutorial, she didn't put on, you know, concealer and do all the other extra. Her look was very simple. You know, she patted powder over her face and kept it pushing. So I can see how it's beneficial like that. I also can see how this will look very great if you want an extra, you know, if you wanted extra coverage on a liquid foundation. I will definitely try this out on top of a liquid foundation in a completed look versus just, you know, testing it out like I did today. And I think that this pressed powder would definitely look good over, you know, some liquid foundation for some extra coverage. So do I recommend it? Do I feel like it's worth the price? Absolutely. If you're willing. Now I'll take this back. I'm very frugal. And so I don't think that everybody needs to jump up and get everything. Do I like it personally? Yes. If I were to use all this up, would I repurchase it? Yes, I would. So with that being said, if you are interested in trying this foundation, by all means do so. And let me know down in the comment section whether you've tried it or whether you're willing to try it, and you know, take it from there. We can discuss it in the comment section. And as you can see the coverage. You know what my skin looks like without foundation and what this foundation did to cover up my areas that need coverage. So yeah. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. I would gladly appreciate it. And if you want to connect with your girl on social media, you can find me on everything Talia's Eye Candy. That's on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And I would definitely catch you all in the next. Bye. Es que yo estoy buena, es que yo estoy dura. Yo sé que tú me quieres dar toda la noche entera. Cuando muevo la cadera, yo sé que te desespera. Pero con esta negra no hay quien pueda. Come on, then.